Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our week 7. From this week, we are going to officially start our final project. Okay. So the plan is this: you have full 2 weeks to work on your project. Okay. And during our meeting, I will demonstrate how you use different softwares to finish your project. Okay. So the plan is today will be QGIS because QGIS users will face more challenges because QGIS really is better for experienced users. Okay, but since we are introduction to GIS, many of you don't have any pre-experience on using this, so I think you probably need more help. So today, let's start with QGIS. And on Thursday, let's use ArcPro. Okay, how to use ArcPro to create maps and how to publish your layers to ArcGIS Online. Because the following week, Tuesday, I'm going to demonstrate how to finish your project using ArcGIS Online. You know, you can digitize some data, for example, using ArcPro or QGIS, and you can publish that to your online, the portal. And then you can use your data layer online and to create story maps, for example. Okay, so that basically is the plan. For the final week, Thursday, if you have some, draft preliminary result come out, I'm happy to, save the time for you to present to our class, to share with the class. Let's don't use present, it sounds daunting. To share with the class, you can see what are the things you can do with GIS, and I will make comments, and you can keep improving. Okay, and I know many you're busy. Okay, here is a deadline for your project. Okay, so we are 8-week class. I need to submit your letter grade 1 week after the week 8. Okay, so basically, let's take a look at it. Let's see, how can I share? Let's see, let me share the screen. Okay, you see my screen, right? And do you see my calendar? Yes? Okay, so this is week 7 and week 8. Okay, and this week 9, if you sign up for GIS20 class, same time, okay, we will start 23, but you can still working on your project for GIS20. Okay, so the last day for me to submit your grade is October the 30th. October the 30th. So please finish all your work, okay, October 29th. Okay, so then I can finish grading and I can give you a letter grade. Okay, yeah. Well, maybe Friday morning still okay, but don't be too late. Okay. All right. So relax. I think my point is relax. Like the message I sent to you, I think you learn the most when you're relaxed, right? For example, these days I try to get back to the pool. I need to relax my muscle. If I'm too tight, I will be down. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, maybe Grayson, are you here? Let me stop share.
Yes.
Yes, wave to people. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Grayson. I'm Grayson. Yeah, my first time taking a GIS course. So maybe like some of you guys, I'm pretty new to this.
We share the pen. I totally feel for you. My first GIS project. Okay, I feel so overwhelmed. But I don't know whether you pay attention to our discussion board. Actually, Grayson is very active on our discussion board to share his idea on this final project, and it's amazing. So let me share that with you, okay? Or Grayson, do you want to introduce to us? your project idea?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So my project idea was, so I have an interest in urban planning and just using GIS to better visualize just problems with transportation that we have, especially in the Los Angeles area. So I thought it would be a good idea for my project to get the metro data for like the buses and trains and seeing if those are equitably distributed on people that actually need the transportation, like the lower income people that would use transportation that maybe don't have their own personal car to travel places. And I feel like if you just kind of look at the Los Angeles metro map, you kind of notice that most of the train lines don't, it seems like they build them in areas that are already like wealthy areas, like the extension of the Purple Line and the Expo Line, like go to Santa Monica and like Beverly Hills. And it's like, I don't think these people really necessarily need these projects. But when you look at other neighborhoods in Los Angeles that are underserved by the Metro Rail and other projects, yeah, I just wanted to see like exactly how far are these people from the transportation networks they may be able to utilize. So yeah.
Thank you, Grayson. Yes. So you can see these snips here. Let me move that around. Okay. So that is what I just copy and paste here. He wants to access the cheap, reliable, effective transportation to, to especially the low income neighborhood. Okay, and he wants to see how LA metro services, including our train, buses, bus stops, are influenced by the socioeconomic groups or vice versa, right? Do they serve those, special groups, and see if the transit projects have been equitably distributed. Okay, so where people need the most support, but our LA metro, they don't have the service in that area. Right? Okay. And you can see he actually narrowed down what kind of data he need. Census data, socioeconomic data, right? The first idea coming into my mind is, okay, we can get it from US Census Bureau, right? They have all the data over there. But do you know, ArcGIS Online, your friend, Living Atlas of the World, actually have the data already. LA County also have the data already. Okay, the website I sent to you, I think on Monday, the urban planning, they have their portal and you can use, they organize, they clean the data for you already. Okay, so that is the data you can download. And of course, you want to download the point for the train and bus stops and also the lines, right? Okay, and then you can see, let me see the chat. Okay. Yes, I can share the data, no problem. Okay, so here I'm looking into a data set, train line. Oh, here, see, this is Grayson's spatial question. Okay, see how close or far certain neighborhoods are to these services. You can see he's exploring the spatial relationship between two layers, right? Neighborhood is one layer, those train lines and the stops, they are another layers, right? Okay, so you can see those are the things you need to consider in your project. Okay, so first, your background, what motivates you to finish or to get your hands on this topic, okay? And then your question, how neighborhood influenced by, how the service influenced by the socioeconomic groups, okay? Do they just, overlooked some, important neighborhood, right? Those are the questions. And then based on your question, you know what kind of data you want to collect it and what are the spatial relationship you want to explore, right? So for example, how close, how far can be solved by what? Buffer, right? Buffer, okay? Make sense, guys? Okay, so your motivation, most importantly, your question, okay? And then your data, and what kind of spatial analysis you want to perform in your final project. Okay, so all right, so here let me start my QGIS this time. Da-da. Come on, come on, come on. QGIS sometimes can be very slow. You know, last night when I finalized this map, QGIS crashed for like 10 times. I was so frustrated. You know, I probably ate too much popcorn last night. So it's so dry. Okay. All right, so you can see I have this project. Okay, I call it public transportation equity. All right, so let me turn off this, or let me change the data. Okay, display properties. You know, I want to hide those colors. I don't want to overwhelm you. Okay. So let's see. Let me make a copy first. Copy layer, and you can paste your layer. Duplicate the layer. Okay, and I want to turn off this one, and I want to change the symbology of this layer. So I want to go to properties. I want to change the symbology. I don't want to use graduated color. I just want to say simple symbol. Okay, just give me a simple polygon. Okay. All right, so this is LA. This is LA, all the census tract. Okay, all the census tract. Here we go. All right. Okay, that is what our, you know, first thing we draw on our map. Okay. All right, so you can see Grayson want to explore the transportation, right? So let me share with you the metro lines. Okay. So you can just Google search LA Metro. Okay. Bus or transportation, GIS. Okay. So you will see here. All right, let me share this data with you, okay, into the chat. Okay, this is LA Metro lines and stops. Okay, this is the data, okay. All right, so basically I go there, I download all the data. I download all the data for all the buses and also the metro, okay? And then you can add your data in here. How do I add the data? You actually don't have to unzip. You will download zipped file, but you don't have to if you use QGIS, okay? So you just go layer, add vector layer, okay? And then you just browse to the location. See, teaching fall 20 demos, social economic here. Okay, so for example, I want to add this one, expo track, you know, this number, or let me add them like here. Maybe just this one. Okay, rail line. Oh, this one. All the rail lines. Okay, rail line 0614, whatever they name it. You just click on this zipped file. You don't have to unzip and hit open. Okay, and you can click on this button, add. And you can see it will add all the shape files in it, which is very, very convenient. Okay, so you don't have to unzip your zipped file when you add the data to QGIS. Okay, so let me cancel this. I added already. So let me turn that on, you know, rapid, green, gold. This should be our expo. Yes. And one more, where it is, blue. Okay, why is you here? Okay, let me move that on. Okay, so those are the, the real lines. Okay, and we also have the stations. Let's see. Yes, those are the stations, but they miss expo. So I add expo here. Okay, and then I also go there to, download all the bus stops. All the bus stops. I didn't download the lines. Okay, I download the bus stop, but if you want, you can download the lines. Okay, I find there are two types of, stops for bus. As you can see here, it's line serving stops or stop serving lines. I still couldn't, figure out what's the difference, but looks like this one, line served stops, have a larger data set and include all the stops serving lines. So I just ignore this one. I just use this one. Okay. I just use this one. Okay. And well, then the things is, okay, so for those neighborhood, now we see, all the stops. Okay, let's don't use lines. Let's just use the stops. Okay. How to evaluate each neighborhood, okay, their service, okay, their public transportation services. So for instance, okay, this neighborhood, okay, let me draw this neighborhood, okay, compared to this neighborhood. Which one have more, more supported by those, metro lines or LA Metro public transportation? Okay, Paula said, I think centers are for the metro and the bus stops are for the bus, like Rapid 7. Yes. Okay, so my question is, this is neighborhood number 1. This one is number 2. Based on Grayson's question, which one is more, LA Metro, those stops are more accessible to those, residents in those 2 neighborhoods? Which one is better?
The rail?
What's that?
Is it the rail, the train?
No, I mean, let me be clear about my question. My question is, I have this neighborhood and number 2 neighborhood. Okay, and now I just want to use, I don't want to use the lines, okay, because that will be too complicated. Okay, I just have those stops. Okay, I just have those stops. It doesn't matter it's metro, it's rail, or buses. Okay, as long as I can get on the bus, I can go to the train, right? Okay, so compare 1 and 2. Which one, the residents, okay, it's easier for them to get onto a bus or get onto the train?
A bus, because there's more stops.
What's that? Say that again, Paula. Hello?
Oh, she wrote it down. But isn't it like the neighborhood
Okay.
number 2?
Oh, number 2. Okay. Yes, number 2. Why, Vangelis?
It's closer to the stops. Well, the stops are within the margins.
Exactly. You have more stops, right? In that polygon, you have more stops. You can then use this idea, right? You can count how many stops in this census tract, in this poly, for example, this downtown Santa Monica. You can see you have a lot of stops, right? Compared to this one, you don't have, you have 0 stops. And people, if you live here, it's easier for you to get on a bus, right? Okay, so let's zoom out to see LA. We have a lot of bus stops, but things about here in the east part of LA. Think about, their, for example, a low income, household. They want to find a job, okay? But the job require interview in downtown, okay? Our hub, let me clear. Right here, like Grayson mentioned in his idea, well, if I'm living here, how should I get there, right? I don't have the money to, you know, to take a taxi or Uber. Okay, I don't have a car. So the job opportunities in our downtown LA, vast side of LA, Santa Monica on the coastal side won't be accessible to them, right? So that is exactly Grayson want to address in his project, okay? But the question that now we know, you know, how to evaluate each neighborhood, each census tract, how public transportation is accessible to the residents. Do you get my idea? So we basically want to do what? You have this polygon, you want to count how many points, how many stops in that polygon. Does that make sense? Okay, then you know what you want to do. And remember last week, we learned this tool called spatial join summary. Spatial join summary, right? So I was too tired that day because I just came back the day before and I couldn't figure out how to do that in QGIS, but later I send you the video. I hope you watched it, okay? So here basically is, let's see. Let me mouse, okay. So that is you go to processing, you go to toolbox, okay? And then here you can do, you know, spatial join. Okay, so we want to use this one, join attributes by location summary. So basically it will, you know, summarize the points within this polygon, count how many points you have, okay? All right, so maybe later we have extra time. I can, you know, do a live demonstration on this tool, but let's now stop here, okay? Because I don't want to, you know, distract you too much. Okay, so you can see how you figure out what kind of spatial analysis you need to perform, right? Because I want to evaluate each neighborhood number of public transportation, okay? So that is what I did. So you can see I have this layer. That tool will give you a new layer called, you know, I name it summary by location, number of bus stops, number of bus stops. Okay, do you see that? I apologize, I cannot, you know, zoom in to my screen, but it's this layer. Okay, so let me turn that one on. Let me turn off this. Okay, let me turn this one on. Okay, so you can see here, okay, let's see. Okay, here, let me change. I probably display the social income. Let me change the display of this one. Okay, let me clear. Okay, I should have a, you know, I want to change the symbology, how I want to display. Okay, and here I don't want to display just use a polygon, right? They all same. I want to use graduated color because you know that number of bus stops is a number, right? I can use different color to, you know, show people you have more or less, right? So let's use this one, graduated color, okay? And here in this value box, you are going to choose the field, the attributes, the column you want to use to display, to color your map, okay? So let's try, let's take a look at it. You have a lot of attributes, which I will introduce you later. Okay, that is our census data actually. But you can see here, I have this here, stop number. I number all the stops. Okay, you have a stop number and you have this sum, SU means sum. Okay, so basically count how many, okay? So let's click on this one, okay? And then, do we have a count? It should have a count. Should be this one, sorry. This one is a count, CO is a count. Let me use this one, okay? And then symbol will be, you know, just a polygon, okay? This symbol means polygon. And then this color ramp, you actually can customize it, okay? But let's leave it there, okay? And here you need to choose your classification method because you have this data range, right? And later you will see here, for example, let's just leave it there. And then you are going to click on this button, classify, okay? Click on that and you will see those number count, how many bus stops in each polygon. You can see it break down into different categories, okay? And here is a place you can choose different classification method. I choose this, you know, by default, this equal count means for each color here, for example, this white, okay, rose, pink, or other things, okay? For each category here, you have the same amount of census tract. Okay, that's called equal count. Equal interval, that is, you divide your data range into quarters. So basically, you know, or, you know, percentage, like the top quarter, top 25%, okay, middle 24%, then the next 25%, next 25%, next 25%. Okay, so that is a just different way. But if you don't know how your data is distributed, a safe way, okay, is to choose these natural breaks or these pretty breaks. In ArcPro, you just have this one, but QGIS have one more. They basically use some smart algorithm to help you best, you know, divide your color. Okay, so let's use these natural breaks. Okay, you can see the data change, okay, to show the difference over the space. Okay, so if you don't like this red, this color, okay, we can use, you know, more, you know, color eyes friendly, the color, for example, use this one. No, okay. Maybe let's use this. Let's use this gray, means no, I don't have, you know, access to bus stops, okay. And this red, let's use this like greenish color, okay, and you can hit okay. All right, so you can see this means more, this end means less. Okay, this end means less. So you have this, you know, the range of the color. Okay. All right. Okay, continuous. Yes. Okay. So let's see. If you want to, another thing I want to let me show you. Okay, so if you want to have more, you know, changes, for example, here, this one, okay, I want to use like a white, okay. So for the mean, I want to use white in the middle. Okay, you can see you have two ends, right? And then you can, you know, double click on this, you know, rainbow, and then you can add one more stop. Okay, as many as you want, actually. Anyways, that is how to color your map. Okay, so let me just, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let's hit okay. So gray means nothing, means very little. Okay, and then the deep green means a lot. So let's hit okay or apply okay. Come on. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, let's open this. Yes, okay. So you can see, maybe let me change the color. I don't want, you know, two stops. Let me quickly change it. It's a little bit confusing here. Let's just use one stop. Delete the stop.
With a black background?
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Click OK. Click OK. All right, okay. So how about we just use this one? You can change the background here, I think, in the settings, I think, somewhere. Project settings, properties. Let's see. Let me quickly explore. Where's the background? Where's the background? General, selection color, background color. Here we go. Okay, so let's maybe use this, I don't know. I always have trouble to select the best color. Okay, I want to use a gray one or blue. Let's use blue, ocean, right? Okay, here we go. Is that good? Okay. All right, so you can see those are the number of bus stops. Number of bus stops. Let me turn on those lines so you can get yourself oriented. Right? Okay, so you can see where you have the most bus stop. You can see if I turn that on here, right? Okay, and you can see where you have less bus stop. Actually here along this is where? This is Washington or somewhere, right? You don't have that much bus stop. And you can see those are our South Central, I think, right? They're developing or to the north, close to Long Beach, right? Then this is so-called spatial distribution in terms of bus stops, okay? All right, okay, so here. Okay, this is from, in terms of data set, Hunter shared this new data set about the data for LA and suburban bus agencies. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Anyways, check it out. But in this demonstration, I shared what? I shared how you figure out what kind of spatial analysis you need, right? And then how to visualize your data. So in QGIS, you always go to properties, okay? Or you can do this, you can double click. That will open your layer properties, this window, and you go to symbology. If you want to make a color map, okay, based on certain quantitative data, remember guys, quantitative data, well, you need to go with this graduated color. But what if it's categorized data? Means qualitative data, right? Just the names, different neighborhood, you want to choose this one. Or you don't want to differentiate them, just use a single symbol. Make sense? Okay, good, good, very good. All right, so then that is our bus, okay? Well, on the other, side, we also need social economic data, right? Social economic data. Now we use, the number of bus stops in each neighborhood and to evaluate how metro railways are accessible to this neighborhood, okay? But on the other hand, we also need the social economic data. Okay, so let me share the screen. Let me minimize my QGIS first. Do you see my browser? Yes. Okay, then let's go to our friend's house, Living Atlas of the World. Living Atlas of GIS. Okay, so you can see, I will encourage you to bookmark this website because this is just like a name tells, okay? Living Atlas. Every day you will have new data, join this family, Okay, so for example, here what's new, that is the CDC mortality rates for heart disease and stroke. For example, some of you want to, like Jeff, right? The food desert, okay, diabetes. Diabetes related to the heart disease and stroke, high fat, those very greasy food that they consumed, right? So those are data you can use, okay? And water conflicts, if you are interested in the the water resources. Those are the data you can do. Here, this is a huge thing, okay? I think that is one of the greatest project done by ArcGIS. They have this team called Azure Demographics. They basically clean up the data, the demographic data for us already. So we can directly use it. Okay? So if you go here to search demographics, okay? So you can see you actually have a lot of data set you could use. Okay, for example, this popular, including the age, gender, ethnic groups, social income, things like that, okay? Or other housing, for example, okay? So let's just use demographics, see what we have here. Okay, so you can see the election is coming. Some of you want to map out the election, the voting station, right? Which district they are serving. So you can pull in this data, right? Popular demographics, wildfire hazards, okay, age and gender. And if you want to map out South Korea, that's Candice, right? You can go there to pull to see whether you have the data or not. Okay, and Europe nuts, 0. This name is very interesting. But anyways, those are the data set you could use. Okay, and how to add that data in? Well, here, for example, we want to use, let's see, popular demographics in the United States. Okay, let's click on this one. All right, and you can see, please read the descriptions, metadata, right? Metadata, we learned that in one of our lectures. Okay, so you can see here, the feature layers provides 2018 demographics estimates for popular variables, okay? Including what, right? Including all these things. And then you can click on each, you can see they offer different, you know, variables, and also at different scale. You can see spatial scale, country level for the entire United States, all the way to tract, census tract, and census block groups, very detailed data. Okay, so if you don't want to add them all, you just want certain layer, for example, tracts, you can click on this one, and then you can just, you know, if you use ArcGIS Online, you can just open it in that viewer. But if you want to include that data layer in your mapping project in ArcPro or QGIS, you just need to copy this data, this link, okay, this URL. And in ArcGIS, when you add data, you choose add data from path, and then you copied it. Okay, but QGIS is here. Let me close this one. Okay, QGIS, how you add that data? Okay, you go to vector. I'm sorry, go to layers. Go to add layers. We demonstrated that before, remember? Okay, and because it's the ArcGIS feature service layer, and you choose this one. If it's a mapping service, it doesn't allow you to change the symbology. Okay, so here, mapping service layer. Okay, so let's choose this one. Okay, make sure you're clear about the source. And you can see here, let me clear my drawings. Okay, and here we want to add new. Okay, and name, that is a popular demographics. Okay, and just paste URL. Oh, wait, since it is, you know, census level, so census tract. Okay, so you can see basically how they organize it, you know, the nitty gritty here. Here, that is a feature server. Layer number 4 is our tract layer. Okay, but you don't have to worry about it. So just copy it, okay, and paste that here. Are you with me, guys? Okay, a little bit fast, right? Stop me if you don't see anything clear or have other questions, okay? So click OK. All right, then you have this link to that data set living online in the cloud somewhere, I don't know, but I can use it, right? Okay, so let's connect it. You need to click on the connect it. No layers? No way. Okay, let's delete this 4. Okay, let's connect it. Yes, here we go. I don't know what's happening. I just delete that 4 to to the upper folder. So you can see I have different the levels, right? Different spatial resolution. So let's click on the tract because you want the tract. And then let me minimize, let me make it smaller, and you just hit add. Okay, you just hit add. If you don't want to load the entire data set, you just want to load LA, okay, you can build a query, but we need to study the attribute, okay, to use that as a filter. So let's just add the entire thing. Okay. May take a while. Here we go. You can see it's coming. It's coming. Okay. So while it's loading, you can see this is how you, as a QGIS user, you can take advantage of living atlas of the world, right? You search the data over there and you see the URL, and you can use, layer, add a layer, and then go to, either map service or feature service and build this connection, and then you can add the data in. Okay?
Jane,
Yes.
this is for like a web service layer, but what if you had an ArcGIS like local file, like a .lyr file? How would you open that in QGIS? Would it
Layer file, right?
Yeah.
You can convert to your layer file to shapefile, for example, and then you can add it to ArcPro. But I need to do a little bit more research. What are the tools we could use? But it's
so you
possible.
need to use like a third party.
Right, right.
Okay.
Like the data you download from OpenStreetMap. Oh, that reminds me actually. Okay, so for example here, let's say OpenStreetMap.org. Okay, let me share this link. This actually is very useful. Okay, chat OpenStreetMap. All right. I don't know why they locate me here. Where it is. What? Oh, in Africa? Okay. Maybe 0 and 0. I don't know. Okay, let's go to LA. Okay. This inspired me. Thank you, James. Here earlier, Javi, we are talking about the point of interest, right? And this actually is a place you can download your point of interest. So for example, downtown Santa Monica, okay, we want to download, I just couldn't find any data about, Tamba Park or, our city hall or anything, right? OpenStreetMap allow you to download their data. So here you just need to, let me annotate. Do you see this export, guys? Okay, if you want to map out what's going on the ground, you can do this. Okay, so you click on this export. Manually select a different area. Okay, so you can see you can change the location. For example, this the spatial coverage. I mean, okay, let me move that down a little bit. Okay, maybe smaller. Let's go smaller. Let's download this park. Okay. All right, so I'm happy, okay, about this. You can see the data I can download, including highways, including streets, including park, even a trail, okay, and the points, okay, and then you just export, okay. But I want you to pay attention to this format. It's OSM. OSM. It's OpenStreetMap, the data. Okay, let's just save it on my desktop. Okay, maybe you name it downtown Santa Monica. Okay, but there's no way to open it now. Okay, but you can search OSM to shapefile. Okay, there's a lot of, for example, here, I always use this one. It's free, you know. You just, here, choose a file, drag your file in, desktop, where it is, here, OSM, and open it, and then you just hit convert, later give you a shapefile. And then you can just add it to QGIS or ArcGIS. Okay, so you can see if you have a one data layer like James' question, our software cannot recognize. Remember, all this software, as long as your data, is a spatial data, the format usually doesn't matter that much. Always there's a converter. You can convert from one to another to allow your software to use. Okay. Yes. No, you don't need to georeference it. Okay, Paula said you need to georeference. No, this is a shapefile already. So let's convert. I think I'm probably using too much bandwidth now. Anyways, when it's done, when it's converted, you can just directly add your data in. Okay, add your data in. Okay. All right. Any other questions? See, this data is loading, but I'm using a very weird, projection, so it's not displaying appropriately. Okay, so let me remove this. I just want to show you how to add the data. Okay. Let's zoom into our LI. Okay, so there's one way to get the data, get the demographic data. Okay, but sometimes like I want to manipulate our data. Okay, I want to do a lot of editing. For example, delete some polygons or add some polygons and put more information into my data. My preference is to have the local file, like James mentioned. Okay, I really want to have a separate copy. I can do whatever I want, right? Okay. Sometimes living atlas of the world, because they're living in their database. Sometimes the author of this data set, they don't allow you to change anything in their website, in their data set. Okay, so you want to physically download a shapefile or something, save that in your local drive. Okay, so for this data, since it's track polygon data, I actually downloaded on my computer. I have this separate copy. Okay, so you can see if I go here, I go to properties, and you can see, let me clear my drawings. Okay, let's go to information. And you can see that is a separate shapefile. Oh, sorry, not this one. It's this one. ACS 5-year. ACS 5-year. This one. Okay. ACS 5-year is socioeconomic estimate data by tract. Okay, I save this data on my drive, properties. You can see source, that is in my teaching file, and demos, and all the files. I physically own this data, is on my end. Okay, the benefit of doing this, including a lot of benefits. Number one, it's faster to display. So I don't know whether you can hear my computer when I was trying to pulling in the data through that service. It's actually take a lot of bandwidth and take a lot of memory on my computer, and my computer run very fast. Okay, and the local one, they don't consume that bandwidth. Okay, and it's easy. It's easy for rendering. It's easy for the rendering. Okay, and also you can edit it. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so then how to download those data, right? Where to find those data? Then you probably need some, background, knowledge where you can find the data. Okay, here is the point. You want to email me, Jean, I want to download this data. I find this data online, but I want to physically download it to my computer. So where I can find it? So that is the thing I want to share next. Okay, so for example, let's see. It's called, let me search, okay, urban department. Urban planning. Do they have that here? Department of Urban Planning, DOU. I think it's DOU. They actually have this federal user community. Okay, let's see. DOU. Okay, let's use this one, guys. You can see, let me make it larger. Same thing. You can actually search by, you can take a look at the author of your data layer when you are using ArcGIS Online, leaving Atlas of the world to find your data. Okay, so you can see this one is also very interesting, by the way. You have this national transportation noise map, sound pollution, right? Noise pollution, you can pull that in. But you can see, interestingly, it's shared by this one, right? US._BTS. Well, US. That is Department of Transportation, actually. Okay, yeah, so if you click on this one, don't click on this link, click on the user link, the author link. Okay, you can see, oh, Department of Transportation, Office of Spatial Analysis team, and you can take a look at their items. Okay, those are the items shared by this department, by this, government agency. Okay, and here you can see, here, let's see, content. Do I have filter? Okay, I don't want filter. Groups. Nope, I don't want groups. I want maps. Yes. Okay. Department of Transportation. Oh, I know, guys. I need to sign in. Okay, here we go. So items. Okay, so let me sign in with my public account. Oh. Okay, let me sign in and then let me click on this one again. Still, maps, layers. Okay. All right, maybe they don't share there here. Let me try it another way. Yesterday I searched social economic. Okay. This is how I find out urban planning data. Okay, so you can see social economic status. I think I click on the first one. Okay, so this is this lady. She associated with this team to find their demographic data. Let's see, items. Yeah, so you can see here, those are the things, the data set Diana created, okay, and stored in her portal, in her folder. So you can use it, okay? I believe yesterday I find one, Department of Urban Planning. Lisa Barry is oh, here we go, here. You owe docent. You owe docent, CDC, this is CDC. Okay, let's see, you owe docent. Items, yes. Okay, and those are the data layers. If you just want the layer, you can click on the layers and click on feature layers. Those are the data you can directly, bring in, okay? And here you can see, if you want to, include this data, same thing, you click on the link. Come on, okay. And then you can see this layer, and you will see the based on what? Based on feature layer, condensed population, just online. Feature layer. Do you see any urban planning, the department, the name? Don't see. Anyways, well, my point, I guess, is I can, search by those author. I can find who created. And in their description, they will share where the data coming from. So that is yesterday how I find, the urban planning, okay? And then I go to their website. So let me go to my bookmark. Here, bookmark toolbar. Department of this conservation. Marks. Let me just search. Department of Urban Planning. GIS Data Hub. Okay, that is where I find their data. Okay, here we go. This one, housing and development. Okay, so you can see based on their data they shared there, you can actually go to their own ArcGIS Data Hub, the data portal, and then you can find their data over there. Okay, so for example, I want the income data. Okay, I just search for income. Okay, and you can see you have a lot of data, right? You can directly download. For example, I want to download this one, low to moderate income population by tract. Okay, click on it. Okay, so you can see, well, You don't have to download that for the entire United States, right? Including Alaska, or I don't want that. Well, you can use this map to zoom in, okay? To zoom in, okay? To refine your places. Okay, let's go to LA. So you can see, this is the LA, the tracks, okay? All right, so this is the place I want to download. And also, let's switch. Those are the, the descriptions, okay? Descriptions, what are the things you have, okay? And here, let's see. Those are the attributes, the fields you have in this data set, okay? But if you switch to the data, let me check it. Okay. Oh, you can see this is the county and this is the GeoID, right? Okay, so let's switch to data. Okay, so you can see this basically display the attribute table of this data set. Okay, and then you will have this state and this county. You can click on this little filter to filter it. Okay, to filter it. You can see because we zoomed in on the top to LA area. Here, very smart, they zoom in to LA area, okay, California area. For the code for California, we are 6, but for county, we are number 037, okay? So let me click on this county, the name. No, click on this filter, it will add, let me close this, okay? Click on this filter, you will have this county pop up on the top, and then you just display 07, okay? 037. And this is for LA County, okay? Here you need some experience. You can see here displayed, that is LA County. Okay, you want to zoom out a little bit, otherwise it will cut off. Okay, then when you are ready, you filter everything. You don't have to download for the entire country. It's a huge data set. And then you can go to download, and then you can go to, choose different file format. Let me clear the drawings. Okay, if you want to download the full data set, okay, you click on those links. But I just want to download the filtered data set. Okay, and then I want to download a shapefile, right? I want to download a shapefile. And you download it, it's preparing for the file. You can see it's downloading. And then you can just add it, okay? When it's downloaded. Here, you can also use APIs. So for example, you have this filtered, the data set. You can click on this GeoService, I think. Let's see. Oh, here. GeoService, copy. And in QGIS, same thing. Oh, sorry. Here, same thing, layer, add layer. But here you want to choose service, feature layer service, where you, WFS, Web Feature Service. Okay, copy the link over here. Okay, but here our goal is to download this data. So when it's done, you can have a zipped file and then you can download it there. Okay, you can download it there in your computer, and then you can add your data layer right here. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions? Let me pause. Here we go, it's coming. Okay, let's see. Teaching, 20, demos, social economic, track the zip. Okay, and then your QGIS, you can go to layer, add layer, vector layer, and then go to this GIS, demos, social economic, and it's got low to moderate income population. right? And then hit add. And then you can see you have this shapefile. Let's just add a shapefile. Okay, so that is a new data. Let me turn off this one. Okay, and here, let's see. That is change the color, symbology. I want to use a graduated color. Choose a label, choose a field. This is a low income percentage. Okay, I just guess. Okay, low income percentage should be this one. Okay, and then classify, and you can see this the percentage. Okay, click OK. All right, here we go, guys. That is the percentage of the population in each tract. How many of them, you know, the percentage of them is counted as low income. Okay, so you can see those are the low income areas. Those are the low income areas. Okay, remember our, you know, the sum by the location, right? So you can see where are they. Okay, so you can see the spatial relationship, right? Okay, and then now let's just use this data. Okay, I have my low income, and I know I need to count the stops. Yeah, this one. How many stops in each polygon, right? Okay, so let's do this. Let's add here spatial join, this one. Okay, so you can see your input layer. So what is your input layer? Your input layer will take the input layer and create a new vector data layer that extended version of the input one. So you want to add one more column to count how many bus stops in that polygon, right? Okay, so the input should be low to moderate income. Join layer will be our bus stops. So line serving stops, okay? And relationship, right? You can choose intersects, you can choose, you know, within, or you cannot choose contents. Contents is you based on the polygons, okay? Based on the polygons. So I think it should be intersects, okay? And then here, let's see, field to summarize, okay? So you can see, I just want to summarize, maybe, let's see, stop name, because it's a unique name, right? Click OK, and then summarize to calculate, okay? So that is, I want count. I don't want other things, right? Click OK. All right, and then you can discard, but this time I want to keep, because, you know, certain district, certain census tract just doesn't have any location, but I still want to keep the demographic data. So let's hit run. Oh, I forgot to save it, but don't worry, we can save that later. Okay, so you can see it gave me this, let me close this temporary layer called joined layer. Okay, let's open the attributes, right click on that, open attributes. And you can see the very last column, I think you can see, that is a stop name count. Can I change the width? Come on, don't be so difficult. Come on. Okay, so this should be the stop name underscore count, or I can switch to this view. Yes, so you can see the last one. Stop name underscore count. That is how many bus stops in your area. Okay, so you can see through this spatial join, I basically bring two data layers together. so that I can analyze, right? So I can analyze. So for example, guys, here is a very interesting thing I want to share with you. Okay, so you can see here, let me open the data layer again. Okay, let's open this attribute table. Okay, let's switch to the fields view. You know you have, let me see, move selection to top. I think I can organize the columns. Hold on, organize columns, yes. Okay, so let's take off low income, let's call this one here, low income percentage. Okay, let's take off this. I don't want to show them. Okay, but I want to show this stop name count. Okay, so click OK. So you can see here, it's much clean. Okay, so you can see in my attribute table, you have two columns, very interesting. You have this one, that is a low income percentage, right guys? Okay, and here, this is a bus stop count, how many bus stops in that tract. Okay, so guys, how you help Grayson, you know, make this argument, okay? I want to know whether low income census tract have a smaller number of bus service or more. How about this? In my statistics, the class, the professor introduced me a plot called scatter plot. You know that one, right? Okay, you can use the scatter plot, X and Y, like this. Okay, you have this X, for example, that is income percentage, okay, percentage of income, and you have this one, Y axis, that is count, number of stops in that tract. Okay, so if you see this, okay, this is income. Okay, if you see your plot is like this, right? Means what? You have a higher percentage of low income, but you have very little amount bus stops. Means you need that, right? You need to, you know, build more bus stops and bus lines to those low income, right? Okay, so in QGIS, you can do this. In ArcPro, it's very easy. It's just built in a software. But in QGIS, you need to download a plugin. Okay, clear all the drawings. Okay, let me go here. That plugin, guys, write it down. It's got Data Poly, this one. Data Pot LY. Data Plot LY, sorry. Data Plot LY. Okay, just to search for extensions. Okay, so here you have these plugins and manage install plugins. Search for this one, Data Plot LY. Maybe let me share that in the chat. Data Plot LY. Okay, this plugin, then you can plot your data. Okay, so you can see here I have a lot of options. I want to scatter plot, but you have other histogram and many things. Okay, and then you can see I choose scatter plot and layer. It should be this layer. Okay, join layer. Okay, and I want what? I want low income percentage as X. Okay, I want bus number count, right? Bus number count, the very last one. Okay, stop name count, sorry, stop name count. Okay, and then you can change your symbols here, marker size, maybe let's change it large, 15, point, can use points, right? Okay, and line type, I don't want to, maybe a dot line. Okay, yeah, let's leave it there. Let's try. Okay, so create plot. All right, so you can see, this is the data. This is the result. This is your analysis, guys. I don't want to dock it. Come on, I don't want to dock it. I probably need to change, make a larger label, but you get my idea. Okay, so this basically is all the tracks, how many bus stops in it, okay, intersect with it, okay? And then you can see, oh, for these locations, let me annotate this part. Okay, in general, we don't have that, you know, discrimination, right? On the social low income, you don't have this, you know, significant downward trend for the entire LA area. But we do have certain neighborhood. Your percentage of the low income or low and medium income is very low, percentage is very high, but you don't have much bus stops in it, right? And Grayson's idea is, I want to see where they are. I want to make a map. Is that right, Grayson? Yes, right? I want to find where those tracks is, where the tracks are located. Okay, any questions by far? Good, okay. Here we are Sherlock Holmes, right? We want to find where they are. We are detectives. Okay, all right, clear. So this scatter plot, you can include it into your map, actually, guys. It's one type of spatial analysis. You just summarize for the entire area. Okay, that is a global summary. Okay, but let me close this poly. Let me close it. Oh, I don't want to close my layers. Okay. All right, and then another thing is, okay, I have this layer. I want to highlight where they are. Okay, so let me move our chat box here somewhere, maybe down the bottom. Okay, all right, so you can see for this layer, now they look all same, right? But you know they have the attributes you can use to select the data out, right? To select the polygon out. So this is called select by attributes. Select by attributes. Same thing in ArcGIS, ArcPro, and QGIS. Okay, so you can see you want to select the polygons based on the number, based on the value of different attributes, right? How to do that? Well, you just need to bring up your attribute table. Okay, so this is your attribute table. So basically, I want to select the stop name count, the number of stops, maybe less than, let's say, 5. Okay, less than 5. So for example, let's see if I go to the top, I don't know. And less than 5, let me pick a good number. Let's plot it again. Let's plot, let's bring up our plot. Okay, so what are the criteria you can use here? Okay, for example, the percentage above 80, for example, low income, okay? Percentage of low income population above 80, but bus stop, the number of count smaller than what? Smaller than maybe 10. How about this? I don't know how to resize it. Here. Okay, so basically this part. Okay, smaller than 10. Let me draw. Smaller than 10 below my red line and above 80. So basically those neighborhood. Do you got my idea? I want to see where they are. Okay, so 80 and 10, right? 80 and 10. Okay, so let's clear it. Let's go back to my mouse. Let's close it. Okay, and there's dot date here. And let's open the attribute table of this layer. Okay, so you can see here, I wish they can make it larger. You have this, select features using an expression. Select features using an expression. Okay, so click on this one. It's like the same thing as Arc Pro select features by attributes, select by attributes. Okay, it's on the top. Okay, so here we basically want to build our query down here. Okay, so the things we want to use, that is fields and values, right? Fields and values. So if you expand it, you can see all the fields in this layer, So I want percentage, this one, right? Double click, okay? Double click, it pop up here, okay? And then let's see. I need to collapse this. I want the operators. Greater, right? Greater than 80. So you want an operator here. You can see you have greater, this one, right? Greater. Okay, let's go back to our fields and values. You can type in, by the way. I just want to show you how to click. Okay, go to percentage and you can get, 10 samples from the data set. Okay, let's get 10 samples. And then you double click on this one and you can change it, to 80. Okay, so we are human. We want to type in 80%. You want to include that percentage, that sign, but your data value doesn't have that. So on the safe side, you want to, take some samples, see how the data, displayed, and then choose a sample here and you can change. Okay? Is that clear, guys? Grayson? Yes? Okay. All right. And then this is just one condition. We need another one, right? We need another one. That is, we want to build and your count should be smaller than 10. So and let's go to fields, count. Okay. Let's go to this one, smaller. Okay. And let's choose this count. And let's get some samples. Okay, so let's 10 right here. Okay, and then we are good. You can see this equation, this condition actually can help you filter out, select, okay, those polygons that meet both requirements. Okay, we didn't cover this too much in our introduction, but in GIS23 we will, explore more. This is called SQL. Okay, sequential query language. Okay, sequential query language. Okay, so here, that's okay, and then you don't see any errors here, and then you can just select features. Are you ready? It's so exciting. I'm so looking forward to see the results. Okay, click OK. All right, so let me go here. So close this, close this. All right, guys. Those are the locations. Percentage of the low income is higher than 80, but within it, your bus stop is less than 10. I put 10, right? I put 10. Okay, so let me change the symbology so you can see clearly. Okay, for this bus stop. Okay, so I want to change the color to black. Do I have black here? Pick the color. It's black. Okay, and click OK. And then size, let's make it smaller. Okay, and let's click OK. All right, okay, so you can see. Okay, so those are the low income neighborhoods, but have less bus stop intersect with it. Okay, even you have, a lot of these, but compared to other, the larger the larger census tract, you know, you have less. I know here is a problem, but I will mention that later. By far, do you have any questions?
Mr. Yi, is
Louis.
there?
Oh, Vangelis, okay.
Oh, sorry. Is there like double counting by any chance? Or
What's that?
what happens to the stations that are like within the border?
Oh, that is a very good thing. You know, we use the intersect, right? Intersect, I think it will count the one on the border. It will count the one on the border. If you, I think I counted within. I select within, right? I forgot. I think we selected within earlier. So you should, those stations should completely within the polygons. But if you use intersect, it will count the stations on the border. On the border. So you will get more results, more count for each polygon. So basically each polygon will, the stations on the border will be counted twice. Yes. Very good question, Vangelis.
Thank you.
Okay. But here is the thing, another argument you can make. So you can see here, oh, this is UCLA. I don't know what's happening here. But here's the thing, guys. If my spatial analysis have some, you know, how to say that? Drawback. Some errors here. One factor I didn't consider is the size. Of each polygon. For example, you have a huge census tract. It's more likely you have bus stops in it, right? Because you have bigger bucket, those bus stops have a bigger chance to fall in it, right? So a pure count, maybe you have some, you know, bias. A safe way to display this information is to use the number of bus stops divided by the size of the tracts, right? Per acre, per square mile, how many bus stops you have, and compare to the percentage of the population. Make more sense, right? So that is more advanced thing. We basically just need to manipulate the SQL, the query we just built, okay, to divide that number by the size of the census tract. Okay, I think I can quickly do this. Do you have a few minutes? Okay, so let's open attribute table. Okay, so here is recent. Okay, you can pull this one in. Okay, and let's do this. Count. Give it a square. I'll give it a bucket. And then I want to divide it by, I think we have a geometry. Yes. Okay, size, area. Okay, area. Okay, geometry. Okay, I want our layer. That is layer, not layers. Okay, join layer. Okay, this one. Okay, let's try. It's invalid. Okay, so I need to go back. Geometry, area. It's a polygon geometry object. See this one? Polygon geometry. Rasters with process attributes. It's not variables. No, it should be map layers. Okay, anyways, I need to do some research here. Okay, it's invalid here. So basically, I want to divide the polygon size. That's correct. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we finished the project. You can make a map. You can make a map For example, you can include those bus count, or it's just too cluttered, you don't want them, you just use this. So for example, you display the current service, and then you display, for example, the social income. So let me change it. Change graduated color, and you can do, percentage, and you can add, classify, and you can do natural breaks. And then if you don't like the color, you can change the color to, actually it's a pretty good color. The red is very alarming, right? Okay, so click OK. Okay, so you can see those lack of service, those polygons, they mainly in those areas, in those low income, have a higher percentage of the population, living in those tracts. And if they want to, find a job, you need more services. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, I hope so. And if you want to make a map, okay, you make a map, you can go to, you can go to the layout view, insert, view, start a new layout view, where it is. A new map view, sorry, new map view, and then you can create a map, right? You can create a map based on this. That's just like what you do in your labs. Okay, so let me summarize, guys. Let me summarize. So we start from this idea, right? Grayson's idea. I want to see how LA Metro serve our local area, okay, especially for low income population, okay? And then you need to download the data for Metro. You need to download data for demographics, right? Okay, and then you download the data, you want to figure this out. Okay, this question still very abstract. How that serve this area? Okay, how well it serve this area? Then I come up with this index, number of bus stops in this tract, right? And I know I can use spatial join to count how many bus stops in that tract. Okay, and this is one end. On the other end, I can go to Living Atlas of the world. I can find demographic data. I can add the data in, right, through that URL. Or if I want more control on my data layer to speed up, the rendering process, I actually prefer to download a separate copy on my hard drive. Okay, how to find it? Well, you see the author, right? If you see the author or in the data description, it's from urban development, that department. And then you just search the Department of Urban Planning, GIS hub or data portal, something like this, and you will find their data set, okay? And then when you go there at their website, okay, if they use ArcGIS hub, the display, the interface is very similar. It's all like this. You probably will find a lot of similar, but related to created by different departments, okay? You don't have to download all the data sets for the entire country, okay? You can use this filter, okay? You can use this filter to filter out LA, right? So let me share with you, this is just experience, okay? For California, okay, the ID in census is 06. For LA County, okay, the county ID is 037. Okay, 037, and you can filter your polygon out, and then you can just download it and then save that at your end. Okay, and then you can see I use that join by location. I bring two data in, and I create this scatter plot. Okay, and or you can use select by attributes to display those low income area and also have less bus service. Okay, guys, any questions? Good. Are you now have at least some idea how to, do this project? Okay, so you can see that bring a lot of cover everything we learned in this class in the past 6 weeks. I'm so proud of you. We learned so many things. Okay, those things I learned in 1 year, guys. You beat me. I learned in 1 year, but you learned that in 8 weeks. I'm so proud of you. But don't feel, overwhelmed by the data and the things, the spatial analysis method. Keep me posted, okay? Email me, for example, Grayson. Grayson said, Jean, I want to evaluate each neighborhood, how public transportation is accessible to those residents. What kind of spatial analysis I can use? Question like this, you send to me, I can direct you to the right direction. Okay, yeah, and then when you get more and more experience, that will be, just your second, your built into your muscle, like your muscle memory. You immediately know, what kind of spatial analysis you can use. Okay, like I drive, when I first learned how to drive, I'm so nervous, but now I'm getting more and more comfortable driving on the highways, but still, I'm very nervous. Okay, so I hope you learned something new and gain some confidence to get this job done, right? We can do that. We can do that. Okay, all right, so today is for QGIS. On Thursday, we're going to use ArcPro. If you want, like Grayson, if you want me to use your project, the topic, we can totally do that. Okay, I will demonstrate a lot how to find the data, how to, perform analysis, how to present your data. Actually, ArcPro is actually, I would say, much easier than QGIS. And the map will be prettier, okay? And next week, let's use ArcGIS Online, okay? All right, today's meeting is very long, but I hope it worth it. Okay, so if you have questions, please stay. Otherwise, have a wonderful evening. I will see you on Thursday. And happy mapping, don't forget that.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
Jean.
Bye.
Uh,
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.